Yay, 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 yay.
A lot to chat about this week, eh? It's gonna be interesting.
Oh god.
You're so cute, Stu.
Hey, you can come. No, we are live, but it's fine. You just had a feature. I just thought. Because you're waiting for people to join onto the. Are we looking there, Jay?
Yeah, everything's good, bro. John, before you arrived, we had a
Has
bit of a
anyone
shaky
joined us
start,
yet?
bro. It takes a bit of time to update on my side.
Sus man.
Yeah. We'll give it to like 10 to maybe, eh? That's normally when it works about.
Yeah, I just heard a bit of sound.
Yeah.
Bro, we chose a bad time, mate. Fabrizio is going live with 3-3 right now, bro. We're gonna lose some viewers.
Our main competition, bro.
On the Twitch link. Oh.
Have you made those posts, eh, Mark?
Huh?
Have you made the
I
posts?
posted on Insta. Yeah, I've done it on Insta. I'm going to.
Apparently
Cool.
the link tree isn't working.
The link tree isn't working.
Yeah, apparently. For the Twitch. Are there people in the in already, Jay?
Hey, it takes some time to update on my side, bro. I'll tell you when I can tell.
If the link tree is not working, then I'm just gonna change the bio to just.
The link tree is working.
Okay, is
It
it?
says link tree is currently undergoing maintenance, Jason. If I click it through Insta, so I'm
Oh
just gonna.
damn. Well then, yeah, that's Linktree itself, I think.
I'm just gonna post to
Yeah,
the.
so link.
Just gonna post
Just
the Twitch. I'm
yeah.
gonna change the bio to just Jason's Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, solid.
Yo, it's a great time for Linktree to go down, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what a time.
We'll start it at 10 past, eh?
Yeah.
And then, yeah. Get the show on the road.
Edit profile. Okay. That should work now. It's changed to the Twitch.
Yeah, I see that there.
Now let's try to Twitter.
Yo, eh, what's the thoughts there on Gunnosaurus O's? Yo, way
You're
too
deep,
hard
man.
done,
That
but
is cool.
That's
Bro, but
that's our worst bit of business in the window so far.
I saw Merson talking, and I don't know how true it is,
That is
but
on
he tunes
80K.
at 80K a week.
No, man, he's not on that much. But he is the
Bro, are
most
you
high
sure?
paid.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Gunnosaurus is
That's
getting paid 80k a week.
That's
Yeah.
a person tune. I
But
think he's just like,
that's
taking
nonsense.
the
No, he
piss.
was
But to
he
be
was just
honest,
saying
like,
that he's
I'm pretty sure if they asked Gunnosaurus like for a wage cut rather than just to sack him, you would have
Bro,
taken it.
I'm
Like,
sure he'd still do it for free, mate.
exactly.
Yeah.
He's a
He's a
lifelong
bully,
Arsenal
bro.
fan.
Literally,
he's an
actually, he
old
would do
man.
it for free, dude. What am I
He's not
saying?
some youngster. He's a bully, dude. Yeah. Shame. But he is the most high paid. I know that he's the most high paid mascot in the league.
I was having a go on Twitter. You see, Batshai posted, "This is how you treat your
Yes,
your
yes, but yes, he-
man."
what a
Chelsea
bully.
Chelsea posted with Gunnosaurus with their two little lions.
Yes,
Nonsense.
bro. Yo, we've got KB in here. He's saying, "What's up? What's up?"
Some fab troll, Fabrizio troll was like, "Oh, Gunnosaurus is agreed to join Spurs," and they put him in a little Spurs shirt.
Yo, that's actually so deep, dude. And he's been a part of the fam like for so long.
Maybe he'll
Like
come
he's-
back when fans are back.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. It was just like they shouldn't have. Some other story should have just been like, but like it shouldn't have been a big deal. Like he's probably like they could have just told him you're not getting paid until football returns to the stands. Or, like,
No,
until
literally.
fans and stuff. Like I don't know why they needed to break a whole thing like he was fired or something, bro.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
least.
No, it's all this pay cut stuff that's happening at the moment.
Yeah, and if we sign Party, I don't know. It just
Oh, it looks
It
so
looks-
bad today.
It looks pretty. It looks pretty
Dude.
set. Basically. Arsenal fans are already tracking the plane.
You're right. Yo, and Oz do
Telling-
do that, bro. Oz do track the
But
planes.
the
Yeah,
Arsenal fan base is undefeated. I'm telling you. Oz
Our-
were
Our
doing.
plane's just on the way to. Our plane's on the way to, or just left Luton Airport as well. That's how I was just getting.
Boy, when it was Gabriel, when he was in the back of a car, Oz were checking the seats of the combi that we normally use to pick guys up from airports. They were checking the trees, the position of the sun, the sky. I promise you, they were tracking flights. They were looking at highway cams. Arsenal fans who look at highway cams, were looking at highway cams to check where this combi was. It was ridiculous, mate. It was hilarious.
Okay, cool. We'll give it 1 more minute and then we'll get going, eh?
Who we got in there so far, eh?
I see KB was in here. He's the only one that's made some noise. I'm sure we'll get some more on the way.
KB's the one, man. Number one
He's-
fan.
he's a
the
king.
outcast, the king, KB.
Yes, King KB.
United have just announced Tillers.
Yeah, I saw that for 15 mil.
It's a good
Yeah.
signing, man.
Yeah, it's good, decent. Hopefully
Yeah,
means
still-
that,
but
our
defensively,
Porto-
defensively, he's still not great though. To be honest with
No,
you.
bro, honest, but he's also the like third choice left back they wanted, which is also a bit interesting.
Yeah. Okay, lads,
And
10
they're gonna get
past. Should we get
their
underway?
their fourth choice winger if they're lucky. Yeah, let's hit it.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome back to
Let's
everyone
get it.
that's here with us live at the moment, and if you're on YouTube, thanks for stopping by again. As you all know, it's been another exciting week in footy, if we do say so ourselves. So yeah, should we hop right into it? Looking at the results from the weekend, Mark, you're on the screen. Do you want to take us away with your thoughts? And I know you're kind of happy with what's happened this weekend.
Yeah, no, definitely. I can't complain too much about our results there. I was a bit greedy, I did want a bit more, but can't complain at the 6-1 at Old Trafford. But yeah, just in general, I think again another entertaining week of football. I think there wasn't a game that didn't impress, that wasn't good to watch. Yeah, I just think the Premier League's back and it's just entertaining us once again.
Yeah, now it's gone, unfortunately.
Johns?
The international break with a little bit of there's a word that they use, or a phrase that they use. It's called a cock block. It's just cock block. That's sorry, excuse the language, from our football viewing, because damn, bro, it's been crazy. I think to be honest with you, everyone apart from United fans was kind of hoping, once it got to 3-1, 4-1 and they had a red card, I think everyone was kind of hoping that they gave them 8 or 9, just because but anyways, I think everywhere was pretty good. I think of all the games ours and maybe the Wolves game was probably the least exciting to watch as a neutral.
Yeah.
Ours was a bit shaky, but I mean, yeah, we can speak about that later. But if we have time, but yeah, I think it was really exciting. I think the Leeds City game was really really good to watch, even though the scoreline doesn't compare to some of the other ones this week. I think the Leeds City game was really really good to watch. Yeah.
Stu, your side from the scores that you saw. I know you're coming off from a loss from our predictions. Your boy
Yeah,
took the dub.
yeah. I was gonna say not quite the weekend I expected, as you can tell by my predictions. I was very very far off. Must have been half asleep when I gave those. But yeah, I think again, great weekend of football. Yeah, I can't wait to dive into those big scoring matches because I think that's as good as the Prem gets.
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah,
nice
then
thing about this weekend as well, there weren't a lot of controversial calls. There weren't a lot of
yeah,
stops in
exactly.
games.
Good
Like it
footy,
was
Yeah.
just
just
good
a lot of
simple
a
good
lot of
footy.
free flowing
Yeah.
games. You know,
And
it was
yeah, I
good to
think from my side, we're about to hop into it. Coming from that West Brom game, obviously where we saw a terrible display from Chelsea, and then coming back this weekend to get that 4-0 win against Palace. I think it was good. A very good Premier League debut by Chilwell, if I do say so. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
hop straight into that first game then, which is Chelsea Crystal Palace. So it was 4-0 Chelsea, 70% possession, 6 shots on target, 17 shots, and all the stats were better than Crystal Palace. To be honest, I think we just won on the day, plain and simple, as it is.
I think the fact that you scored goals is good and all, but I think the fact that
Mm.
you kept a clean sheet there is
It's
more
even
important.
better.
Trigger for you guys. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that you couldn't have said that better,
Yeah.
dude. It's so good to see Chelsea
Yeah.
keeping a clean sheet. I think Mendy is adding that positive stableness to the back. Kepa was too shaky. He had too much happen to him. Just
Yeah,
wasn't
but
his time.
to be
He was
fair,
scarred.
Mendy didn't have much to
Didn't
do.
look.
He
Yeah,
didn't,
I
Yeah.
think
didn't have much to
as
do.
good as Liverpool were, I think Palace were actually pretty shocking. Like
Mm.
they didn't offer anything that game. Like take nothing away from Chelsea. Good performance, 4-0 win, very comfortable. But I think as good as Chelsea were, Palace were just as bad. Like for me,
Yeah.
they didn't look good for like there were no patch of play really where they looked like they were gonna threaten at all. But I'm
The usuals just
give
weren't
give
stepping up to the plate for
yeah,
them.
give credit to Chelsea as well, but I think Palace
Yeah.
weren't what they've been,
Well,
especially what we saw against United. They would look confident, they look good. This game, they just didn't seem to have
and
like
Yeah, but I think
the
that's
stats
what
the
we're gonna
stats
see
agree
from
with that.
Palace.
The stats agree with that. They had 29.1% possession, 0 shots on target with only 4 shots the whole game. So
nuts.
the stats
I
the
mean,
stats back exactly what you're saying there.
you'd think in a London derby that they'd maybe be a bit more revved up, like come out firing, put some
But
pressure. But
that's never been Palace's vibe. Like them and Fulham, they have such bad records in London derby, and I don't know why. Like they never seem to get revved up
Yeah.
or anything
No,
for a
I
London
agree.
derby. It's
I
just
think there was a stat though that said that Palace had the I think it was I think it was second. I could be wrong, but I think it was the second best away record against the big six clubs in like the last 3-4 years, which is not what you expect to see. I know that they actually Chelsea actually had a weak spot for them. I remember two seasons ago they
so
lost back to back,
Chelsea won
and
two crowd.
yeah, yeah, um, yeah. I think yeah, Palace just didn't show up on the day. To be honest, I don't think Chelsea were spectacular. I think against another side, it could have been different. But I mean, as a Chelsea fan, you can't complain at all. There
You
was
guys
no
just don't
real
want to
good.
see us win ever, hey? We win 4-0 and you guys still have stuff to say. I just hear you guys
Yeah,
shaking
I
in
think
yeah,
your
no,
I
no,
boots.
think I think the first half, I think second half Chelsea were good. First half was
yeah,
like
yeah,
the game almost it had nothing to it. Like it was
Yeah.
first half was just like trying the waters or something. It's testing each other
No,
out to
that's
see what was
true.
happening.
yeah,
I saw
And
that
I think
with Chilwell's,
yeah, sorry,
with
Jess.
even with Chilwell's goal and assist, we saw in the first half that I think there's a stat that he lost possession most times out of anyone in the field in like the first 15 minutes or something. So that does make
yeah.
sense how you say that the first half was a bit shaky. But as well as I've been saying, we haven't been playing a game of 90 minutes, and I think if we play a game of 90 minutes, we're going to see a completely different Chelsea. It's
No,
getting
I
there. It's
agree,
getting
and I
there.
think I think I think you guys are never gonna have a problem scoring goals this
Mm.
season. I don't think. I think you guys have too much going forward, especially when Ziyech or Ziyech or whatever you want to call him and Pulisic are back in full flow. I think you guys won't have any issues scoring goals. Your guys' issues when you guys are under pressure at the back, and I don't think Palace did enough to try and like you know what I mean. Especially like Mendy first game, you kind of expect like a team to be like, okay, well let's just see put this guy under pressure. It's his
Yeah,
first
yeah,
game and it's
true.
his first home game. I don't think you guys were put under enough pressure by Chelsea. I mean by Crystal Palace, but I still think you guys were definitely the better side and deserved to win.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
positive signs for
that
us
yeah
coming
yeah
from the
definitely
last few
definitely.
I
weekends
think
and that
I
Tottenham
think that
game.
I think that Chilwell goal was crucial as well. The time it came, I think
Yeah.
it wasn't the whole goal in itself. The build up to it wasn't pretty, but he's right place, right time, and just absolutely lashed and
Absolute
Yeah.
finished it.
bullet.
And I think
Yo.
It's
Well
good for his
struck.
confidence, and
killed the
he's
game.
gonna jam now. That's the Chilwell that we've been seeing, giving those long balls diagonally across to the opposite side, to the opposite winger, making a run, and we were seeing that throughout the game. Once he was gaining more confidence, it was good to
I
see.
Yeah.
know, I know we mentioned it before the stream, but the fact that they didn't give that second pen to Werner, I think that's just quite poor.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I
even the
also think
first one, they should be giving all of them to
Yeah,
him. He's a quality striker, and I mean,
mate.
like
I think
he
Yeah.
needs
I
that
think
confidence. Jorginho's
I
got the
think you can't.
confidence.
Yeah, I think you can't take penalties away from Jorginho. Like he's obviously
Yeah,
your number one kick take. He's only missed that one penalty against Liverpool, but other than that, I think he's scored every penalty he's taken for you guys. So I think they just need like it would make so much sense to just give one to Werner, give him his goal just to get the confidence. Like he's
Yeah.
in a new league. He wants to obviously get the goal. As soon as every game that he goes by that he doesn't score, pressure is going to build up.
Yeah, yeah.
to be
that's just the
honest, I
nature
feel
of
like
how
if
it
Lamps
is.
had to pull Jorginho aside and say, "Listen, mate, give him the next penalty. Let's boost his confidence. He's going to be providing for you. He's going to be making you
Yeah.
look good from scoring. Like,
I think he
just
will.
give
I
him
just don't know why
give
it
him
hasn't
two
happened.
penalties. Just give him that confidence. Let him find his
Yeah,
feet.
but even like the first one, you kind of there's a little bit of leeway there.
It
You
was
wanna
only
like
1-0.
that
Yeah,
puts
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
definitely
game in
true.
get
it
that.
was
stage.
2-0. It was
But the
2-0 already.
second
Hasn't
one is like whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but how's flipping? It was interesting because Werner picked the ball up for the first pen, and Abraham picked the ball up for the second pen, and
yeah,
they were never going to take the penalties. Like you saw, Aspi was straight up saying as a leader, he was like, "He's
yeah.
our penalty taker. He takes the penalty." So it was
Yeah.
just, yeah. I
I don't
still
think that's the
that
first time we've even seen Tammy throw his toys out the cot. Eh? I think we've seen
Wait,
that
See, like,
before, if I'm not
he
mistaken.
always wants to take pen.
Yeah.
Um,
Hungry, dude.
but yeah, I just think you guys had a penalty in almost every game, and you still haven't given one. I think Jorginho scored 4 goals, so I think you've had
Yeah.
all
Well,
but one, and he's missed the
but
pen
one.
as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like I just don't see why Werner hasn't just taken one of them to just give him the confidence he needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right
It'll
then.
be interesting to
Anyways,
see how long it takes to get that goal. First
yeah,
goal.
good things coming up for us. I think we're gelling in nicely. Ziyech is ready. Pulisic got a few moments. So yeah, let's move on to this next one here. We're having a look at the Leeds United Man City game. It's a 1-1 draw. Leeds United dominating in possession and shots on target. However, Man City did have more shots. Man City had 23 shots with only 2 on target. That's not
There's
a stat
something
that
going
you
up
can be
at
happy
that
about
club.
there at Man City.
I know they're missing Aguero and they're missing Jesus, and they don't have like a striker as such.
Yeah.
But this you can't tell me with the quality they have, they can produce 23 shots and only put 2 of them on targets.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Especially
something.
especially with the class and like skill that they're dealing with. I mean, I have De Bruyne in my fantasy team, and to get 2 points from De Bruyne just is something that doesn't happen. Like it's just
That's
something
the
that
first,
doesn't
I
happen.
think it's the first time he's blanked 2 because he
It's
blanked 2
unheard
weeks in
of.
a row now. It's like
Yeah.
the first time he's blanked 2 weeks in a row or something for like
Yeah.
forever.
And to
I
be
just-
honest with you, I didn't think that they looked like convincing at all. And
No.
Pep's reaction said it all. I mean, Leeds are a good side, but still, as a City side as strong as you are,
Yeah.
you should still be thinking about taking 3 points there. And he was genuinely happy with the draw. Like he wasn't upset or anything. So I don't know. There's something a bit shaky going on there. To be honest with you, if you
Do
want
we
to play
feel
City,
like
I think now's
do
the
we
time.
feel like the Leeds
So
hype has
hopefully.
made the bigger club scared of them to come up against them from the get go?
Like I know it must have because I know like give all respect to Leeds, like they've come up and they haven't been scared, and like there's this hype around them. But
Yeah.
as a Man City side, it shouldn't, like, obviously Bielsa's a great coach and they've got decent players, but as a City side that's a promoted team, it shouldn't be. It's like
Yeah.
it's 4 weeks in as well. It's not like you're playing them at the end of the season like Sheffield United come like halfway through the season, everyone's seen, okay, these guys know how to play. It's like the 4th week. City shouldn't have gone in there with intentions to anything else but to win that game.
Yeah, and man for man, if you go throughout both teams,
Can't compare.
you can't like every single player is better
I
like
just
by
I just want to throw
miles.
out there that last week I had quite a few City fans at my gears saying how could we draw to a newly promoted club. That's all that I really just want to say
Just want to
about
put
this
that
game.
out there.
And I know, and they know who they are as well. I hope that they see this somewhere one day, because they know who they are.
And I think also though, like City, I don't know, Leeds almost looked if a team was going to win that game, it was going to be Leeds. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
City started well, they got their goal early. I mean, for a City side to not punish the game,
Nothing to
it's
lose for Leeds on their side. And
it's just
nothing.
Yeah.
it's obscene to see City not putting a game to bed, and we've seen it a couple of times now.
Yeah.
And I think also just highlighting the fact that they lost 5-2 to Leicester. I know completely different tactics Leicester would have gotten to this game than the West Ham game, but Leicester can beat City 5-2 one week and lose 3-0 to West Ham the next week.
Yeah.
So it's like obviously that City side got it very right against. I mean the Leicester side got it very right against City, but I don't know. I think that they're bigger problems at City than we might
Yeah.
think.
I think as much as I think people kind of expected Liverpool to have a little bit of okay, obviously this weekend's result is just crazy, but we'll get to that. But as much as we kind of thought Liverpool wouldn't be as good as they were last season, at the beginning of last season, judging on how they ended last season, I think a lot of people thought that City would be back to what they were 2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago, before the season started. And I think that no club, and I keep saying this, no club is like safe. I mean, and we'll speak about that as well a bit later as well. But I genuinely don't think that there's any club now that you can call head-on favorites to win the league. Like there are genuinely 7 or 8 teams that, as we speak, could win the league. Obviously, it will narrow down towards the end, but there's just no team looks like every single season that we've had, apart from the 16-17 season or 15-16 season where Leicester won. Every single season, we've kind of had like and even Leicester at a point, they were like, okay, we know Leicester gonna win the league, but it is very early. But we don't have a favorite. Like there's no like.
Like it's
I mean,
not like
unless you want to call
like
Everton a
last season.
favorite.
Last season and the season before, everyone was like, okay, Liverpool City. Like,
Yeah.
we knew the other teams were going to be there, but everyone said top 4. No one was like, okay, we're going to see more than 2 teams competing for the title.
Yeah.
And I think start of this season, everyone saw City drop early. Everyone was like, nah, Liverpool's title to lose now. And I just think Liverpool haven't looked great since the start of the season. I know they've got their results, and people can come. All these Liverpool fans can say what they want to say. There's been that the defense looks shaky. That's Liverpool's their pride and whatever pride possession. That's what they go on, this high press, and Villa absolutely just dismantled their high press and how good that's meant to be. That high line, they just ran in behind it like it was nothing.
I want to go back to Johnsy saying Everton is contenders. I don't know, guys. Are we sure it's not too early to be throwing?
No.
around,
I'm saying unless
it's game week 4.
unless people say. My thing was unless people are willing to say that Everton are now favorites, which I don't think it's true. I think Everton will lose. They'll definitely drop out.
Definitely a strong challenger for top 6 though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think
the good start always helps.
You can't knock their starting lineup and what they've got, that midfield 3. But I think an injury like we've seen now, okay, they still won the game 4-2, but it wasn't. They caught Brighton were all over them, and they caught Brighton on the break for all those goals. I think Richarlison going off was a big one. As soon as Richarlison went off, Brighton took control of that game. With the Iwobi for Richarlison. Brighton took control of the game, and then Everton got that free kick right before half-time, and James Tumina, they scored it. And I think that was the big turning point of the game, because I think if it had gone into half-time 1-1 with Brighton on top, I think we could have seen a very different game. So I do think Everton look good this season, but who knows? Maybe they will, but I don't see them.
I think it's prime time for the Merseyside derby to come along, because I mean, Liverpool looking a bit shaky. Who knows? Dude. 2 weeks to get back on track.
True,
And
but
yeah,
like it's now like, are we saying we want Liverpool to win? So like, or do we still want Liverpool to lose because we know what
No,
they can
Liverpool to
do?
lose.
We
Everton,
definitely
It's
want
I
tough.
think,
Liverpool
If it's
to
in five
lose.
from five, if it's in five
yeah,
from five, having beaten Spurs and Liverpool, it
yeah.
starts to look a bit
I can't see, I can't see, I
pivotal.
can't
But
see
I still can't
Everton.
see them
I can't see
staying the whole
Everton
season.
doing this like consistently. And I always think to myself, like,
That's what I'm saying
when
as
you look
well.
back,
I think the juice is going to run out.
when you look back at the end of the season, the last 3 or 4 games, you're kind of thinking like, yo, we need these teams to drop points. We need these teams to drop points. Like
Yeah.
you're watching games hoping that they lose. And I can't see Everton being consistently this good or consistently getting results like they have at the start of the
Yeah,
season.
for
So
sure.
I think we need Liverpool and teams like Liverpool, City, and obviously everyone else as an
The
Arsenal fan
traditional big
to
six
drop
and stuff.
points now so that yeah.
Okay,
I
lads, we
think
can go on for
I
this
think
forever.
especially
We've
when
still got a bit to cover
yeah,
here. Let's
I
move
think
on
when
to
Dom
this.
Dom stopped scoring as well.
Yeah.
Let's move on to this Leicester
This
West
game
Ham
was
game. It's a 3-0 win for West Ham here. Only 30% possession in West Ham's favour, with the other 69 going to Leicester. 6 shots on target, and with 14 shots. Leicester having no shots on target, that's also worrying with only 4 shots. I mean, similar stats that we can see to that Man City game. So, Stu, do you want to take us away with what you thought
Yeah.
about this one, eh?
yeah. I mean, it just sort of shows the Premier. I mean, I think it was Jonty said it earlier. Like, Leicester last week can put 5 goals past Man City. This week they're losing 3-0 to West Ham, and I think West Ham are one of the more average sides this season. So yeah, I think I don't know. Someone
I
else want to
think I
comment?
think Leicester's their one shot they had, they scored on the 90th minute with the offside on Vardy, which was a bit rubbish. But I mean, Leicester didn't. I don't know. They just looked deflated. I don't know.
Knocked off
West
their
Ham.
high horse, maybe. Maybe they came in with a
Yeah,
bit of a big head
I
from the
think
weekend before, off that Man City win.
very good start for West Ham as well. I think
Yeah.
Antonio's really finding his position now as a centre forward.
Yeah.
He's played off the wing like for a couple of seasons, and I think now running down the middle as a centre forward, I think he's strong, he's aggressive, he's very good for them, and I think got it to a perfect start, putting them 1-0 up, and I think from there West Ham really just looked comfortable, and Leicester didn't. I don't
Yeah,
know, they just
I think
didn't.
West Ham have definitely surprised me. I mean, I said in the first episode that I think that they might be going down, but I think that also a couple injuries there, and they could find themselves in a little bit of trouble because Declan Rice is huge for them and what he does there, and Antonio obviously is huge for them. So I think it'll be interesting to see how they go from here. But I feel like they're going to be very inconsistent this season. I mean, that's a top performance. Don't get me wrong, but I think that they're the kind of team that will go and beat Leicester 3-0 away one week and then lose to like Brighton at home the next week. So I think it'll be very interesting to see how West Ham go.
Results like this could be important for West Ham's future in terms of like Declan staying at West Ham. I think if they
Yeah.
can continue to produce similar results to this against top 6 teams in the season, I think he could be staying there for a long time, because I know that there was some transfer speculations about him leaving this season.
If they keep
So
him, if
I
they
think
keep him
results like
tonight,
this are good for them, for West Ham, to keep those
yeah,
good players in their side there.
I think it's also good for them in the like the Premier League as a whole. As for Villa as well, like I think Villa have got a really good squad now. They'll be fine, but they are still going to go on their run of games where they do lose a couple in a row. And I think banking these early wins puts them in a much better position. Like you look at West Ham now, you're looking okay, they look fine where they are on the table. Whereas if you look like someone like Sheffield United and Fulham, they could still go on a run of wins and find themselves in a simple position. But at the start of the season, we played 4 games and they haven't got a point yet. It's like it just doesn't look good. So I think wins like these are important in the bigger scheme of things as well for West Ham, because I do think they could, unless they carry on performing, but they could be down at the relegation zone
Yeah.
fighting it like they were
Could
last
it
season.
could be a replay
So,
of Aston Villa last season, where they could need every single point needed. The 3
Yeah.
points that they won on that day could take them a long way in the bigger scheme, I think.
yeah.
yeah.
I find it really interesting that sort of, these big clubs, like the Leicesters, the Chelseas and stuff, are already fumbling on these matches that should be guaranteed
Yeah.
wins for them. And it's
Yeah.
going to add up. I mean, it's early, but it's going to add up.
That's
And
why.
I
That's
think,
why. As Arsenal fans, I mean, you can say what you want about results and stuff. About our most convincing performance was definitely against Fulham, But we've scraped a win against West Ham, and I mean it was scrappy yesterday. I still think we were the better side. It just took a while to break them down. But those kind of wins, as an Arsenal fan, I mean, I keep saying it, and I keep putting on my social media that the Arsenal at the end of Emery and at the end of Wenger and under Emery would have lost or drawn those games. That's so for me the biggest difference that I've seen on Arteta is that we've kind of managed to win those games that are tighter, that are in the balance, that could go either way. So it's a good, yeah. Just thought I'd throw my 50 cents in there.
Do you guys think later on in the season we could see these high scoring games and the top 6 teams start winning their games more consistently? Do you think that it's just because of a new season thing that people could be shaky and seeing these errors? I don't know. Maybe throughout the season we could see the teams catch more of a form. I think that's a given, but I mean, to maybe not see 6-1 results and 7-2 results.
Well, I don't know. We never really expect them. So the way this is going, we can. I don't know. It probably will just settle down to its consistency.
Yeah, I think it's definitely this season, and I mean it's like that every season. But I think this season the most consistent side will win the league. So teams that can win games, when you know what I mean, like you consistently getting results regardless of the result. If you can consistently get results, I think that the team that will win the league this season will definitely be the most consistent, and it's like that normally. But yeah.
Just going back to the Arsenal game, what are your thoughts on that David Luiz incident?
I think if Leno wasn't there, it's a red for me personally, because it is. But because
I think even with Leno playing there, Burke was getting there way before Leno was, if he wasn't pulled back.
I don't know. If he wasn't there, for me, there wasn't even speculation. But also that Berg challenge was also shaky on Aubameyang.
Yeah, no, there was. Yeah, but I'm just thinking about how Arsenal fans were last week on social media going on at Liverpool with the elbows and all that rubbish that went on. As to
no, I agree. I don't think it was.
I think that would have changed the game a lot. So
yeah, very much so.
Okay, Mark. I think we're going to move on to your probably favorite section of the episode this weekend.
Skip this one? I think we're running a bit long here.
I think it's our favorite for everyone. All the United fans to download right about now.
let me run you through the stats here. So we obviously had 6-1 to Tottenham Hotspur this weekend at supposedly the Fortress. That's debatable, I guess. So then we saw you guys have a 61% possession, 8 shots on target, 22 shots. I mean, there's nothing that you can actually say bad about Tottenham, to be honest. It's hard to say it as a Chelsea fan, but I mean, dream performance from your team that you want to see on a weekend, especially against Man United.
I think the way the game started as well, like 30 seconds in, the inevitable, Martial goes down.
Yeah. At least you have to get it early.
I said before the game, we were chatting and we're like, we're effectively starting this game 2-0 down playing against United. And then 30 seconds in, they get the penalty. So it's like, it was kind of expected, but like not that early. We knew they were going to get their penalty sometime. And I think from there, we just showed, I think it was very Mourinho-esque. We just showed that we weren't there to be brushed over. And I think Mourinho had a belief in the boys from before the game even started. And I think our midfield was crazy. I think obviously they did get the red eventually, so it wasn't much to contest in midfield. But I think those first 30 minutes when it was 11v11, I think our midfield was crazy. I think, like if you look, a lot of Spurs fans, although Son scored 2 and Kane scored 2, everyone was literally saying Højbjerg was man of the match. And that performance, I think it's finally, like the first few games he was so shaky, and a lot of Spurs fans were getting a lot of hate, like what a stupid signing, like we can put anyone to do the job he's done kind of thing. And I think finally we're starting to see why Mourinho wanted him so badly, and he's exactly what we needed in that defensive midfield position, and he's a leader on the pitch and stuff. And I think there's not much we can fault about that performance. I think Ndombele is coming. Finally, we're starting to see the play. He's got
loads of potential. He just needs to sharpen it up.
He's just raw talent. Like he's got one of touches where it's just like he could have done so much more. But I think where he is now, we can't complain about much like at all.
Yeah.
You guys can, honestly, that Son Kane link up is actually getting too dangerous, and
Yeah, it's a bit creepy.
I think it could be slightly illegal to throw Bale into that equation as well, if you ask me.
Yeah.
We'll have to check the rule book on that one,
I
if you can
think,
throw Bale
I
into that
think, I
equation.
think, I think, I think Spurs' the issue for the last, like this little patch that they've been a bit shaky. Not like, I mean, they haven't been terrible, but I mean, I think at the end of last season, and even though they've got their results and stuff, I think Spurs' issue for the last couple of seasons have been trying to find a midfield that can replace that Wanyama Dembele that they had, where they were just so good. I mean, they tried with Sissoko, and I think Sissoko's come a long way from his
Yeah.
first season, and I think Ndombele and Højbjerg are both good signings for you guys. But I think that three for me, and especially in that United game, that three is your best three, and I think you guys have struggled to try and find that combination. I mean, you've tried Winks in there, and you've tried. I mean, yeah, I think
Don't
it's
slander Winks, bruh. You guys don't watch that oak. That oak is still that oak, honestly, if you ask Spurs, a lot of Spurs fans, you'll either hear that he's our worst player or you'll hear that he's like one of our
How's this
best.
guy hyping himself up?
yeah. Come on,
But
no, but I
that
do
oak,
think
like
I do think that
I think that the thing now is we've got competition for place in every position as well. Like you look at
Yeah.
Serge Aurier, this guy last season was our worst player. Then he comes and drops a 10 out of 10 against Chelsea and a 10 out of 10 against United. And also like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Who is this Serge Aurier?
You see, there's
So
that
I think-
competition for the place. It's giving that drive, I think.
and I think
Ozil's
we've got that
performing.
in midfield now as well. I mean, you've got Højbjerg, Sissoko, and Ndombele, Winks, Lo Celso, Dele, all fighting for three spots
Yeah.
in midfield. And I think if you look at like any one of those players, I think that a lot of them would fit into a lot of top clubs in the Premier League as well. So I think that's where Jose's got it right. We didn't go out this window looking to spend, like last season we spent the 60 million on Ndombele, and I was like, he had a season, so effectively he's a new signing for us as well, because I mean he hardly played last season. But Jose's just gone in and he's picked the positions he wanted to strengthen, and we've done a lot of it on cheap and very good business. So I think this window was very important for us, and I think finally Jose's got the squad he wants. And yeah, I don't know. I know a lot of guys saying Jose's finished and stuff, but
He's definitely, I mean, I don't want to use the word, but I mean, I'm sure everyone's seen the video where he says for 90 minutes you've got to be a certain word. He's definitely got that attitude coming through.
Yeah.
I think
He's always
that's
had
one
that
thing-
attitude, to be honest.
Yeah, but I'm
that's
saying
one
he's,
thing-
he's getting the players to show it now at
Yeah,
Tottenham.
That's
definitely.
one thing Spurs have never had though. Like if you look at historically, it's one thing that we've always lacked, kind of thing, and possibly a reason why we haven't won a trophy in 12 years is when it comes to the tough moments, we've always seemed to get dwindle out of it, and that's a fact. And I think we couldn't have picked a better manager to bring in at a better time.
I agree.
So yeah, I don't know. It's obviously exciting times. I mean,
I want to take
Yeah.
you back to the Dele topic. We have someone saying that they're surprised he hasn't left yet. Do you think this is his last season at Spurs? What do you think Dele's future is going to see from at Spurs?
I think there's too much of a player there for us to just let him go for nothing. I think a loan move could have possibly done his career a lot of good, but he seems to want to stay. He hasn't tried to push a move or anything. So I think he genuinely wants to fight for his place. And I think at the moment now we've got Lo Celso, we've got Ndombele in those attacking midfielder roles where we're not relying on Dele as we were in the past to play every game. So it's almost up to him. It's on him now to get back into the starting lineup. And I think if he gets to the level where he's back in the starting lineup, it's just another positive for us. I mean, if you get Dele back to playing the way Dele can, I think. So
He's
for
got that
us,
soft spot for Spurs. There's that soft spot
For
deep
us-
down inside him for Spurs.
for us to keep him, I think is if he gets back to what he was, and we've got the midfielders now where we don't need him to start every game. So I think in the long run, I think it will only get better. And if you look at how Ndombele, everyone said he's leaving, he's out, he's gone, and pull up 2 months later. And
Another
arguably
statement
our-
here is that
our
she's
best-
a club legend in the making. Do you think that is a possibility?
For sure. I mean, he came at 19-year-old and he blew the Premier League by storm. So I think if he finds his level again, there's definitely, you can't say that he won't be.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really at the moment it's up to him So if he wants to get back into the starting lineup and play football, he has to pull up his socks. So
Yeah.
yeah, but should we talk about United, or are we shying away from
Yeah,
that?
please, can we speak about it? Please. It's all I've been
Well,
wanting to speak about.
we're heading to the Aston Villa Liverpool game next. We'll have a look at that. So it was. Oh,
Just
so what? Do
just
you want to cut?
2 minutes
2 minutes on
United.
United. I need a
2 minutes
bask in
on
this.
United.
Please.
Please.
Like as
Yeah.
good as I've had my moment now, I'm happy. As
One.
good as
Okay.
Spurs were.
Let's hear.
Wow.
Let's go.
Wow.
For one, Spurs deserve to win the game. For me, in the first 30 minutes, Spurs were the better side completely.
Mm.
The red card decision, whatever that issue is, that taking everything out of it, United are frauds. Just flat. Harry Maguire is a
Dude.
fraud.
Don't
Flat
even
out.
start on that.
Cheap,
Flat out.
cheap winning.
Every
cheap
single,
winning.
every single United fan and commentator go on about how United need to sign someone to play next to Maguire. United need to sign someone so that Maguire can play. You know what I mean? Maguire has been useless. He is another level, guys. Like,
Have you signed
he
the
has
partition
moments.
to
I don't know
reopen his
how.
court case?
I honestly don't know how
No, I want him to stay there, bro. He mustn't go back.
Yeah.
To
Yeah,
Uganda.
no, he must.
He must stay there, bro.
Honestly, I don't know what's I don't know. I can't even say enough about that guy. He's just
You see,
he's a
I think
fraud. One, two. Bruno
what's even more
Fernandes.
worrying is that Maguire's their captain. I mean, like,
Yeah.
but to be honest, I don't even know who you hand the captain band over to. I mean, Bruno, but I mean, he's been there for how long? You can't give it to him this
Possible.
early.
Pogba's the other candidate, but he's been a lost cause and
No,
he's been
dude,
nowhere.
He's been playing with those
nowhere.
Timberlands on again.
And I mean, you could give it to De Gea, but I don't know how long he's still in that team for.
Time's
mean,
numbered. I mean, with
it's-
Henderson on the rise, I mean,
I just
highly
so
unlikely.
that blows my mind. I don't know how Henderson is not in the mix. How
mean-
he's not starting. But for
Yeah.
me, United are focusing on the wrong problems. You don't
Yeah.
need Jadon Sancho.
Cavani.
Why
Why are you signing Cavani?
A good shot for
Everyone's
captain is Rashford. I mean, he's got the leader qualities on and off
Oh,
the
yeah,
field
he does for
with,
sure,
his,
and I
with
think-
his charity work and all of that. And
I
I mean, we can
agree.
definitely
I
see
agree.
his impact on the field. I mean, to be honest, I feel like, bar the penalties, Rashford's the one carrying United. I mean, Bruno Fernandes is scoring the penalties, but I mean, Rashford's scoring those
Yeah, and
infield goals.
to be fair, at the end of last season, Bruno was good. He was pulling strings for United, and he was creating
Yeah.
stuff. Apart from the penalties, he was their best player, even if you take the penalties out of it. But in that Spurs game, he was nowhere at all. At all, he was so weak on the ball. He lost possession so many times. This season, honestly, if you took the penalties out of it completely, he has been worse than Pogba, in my opinion.
And Pogba's
Pogba
been
even
terrible as
looks,
well.
yeah. And they have Donny's just itching to get onto the field.
And he
Dude.
looks like I don't have words. Like, I don't know what's going on there. And you're signing Cavani, and if you're going to give him game time, it means you possibly the biggest thing you're going to do is you're going to hinder Greenwood's development. And we all know, like, as much as it burns to say, Greenwood is probably England's next thing. Like,
Yeah,
he is
definitely.
He is quality.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Definitely.
And if you're going to play Cavani, you're either gonna drop Rashford, which they won't ever do. I mean, he's looked good. Martial, who's Martial last season, 50 million. Look how good he is. He's better
You
than
know, he
Harry
hasn't
Kane.
had a shot on target.
He's
Dude,
better than Harry.
more red
Better than
cards.
Harry Kane, according to United. We don't want Harry Kane. We've got Martial. Keep him. Enjoy that.
Yeah.
It's just I don't see how they fixed it without
Yeah.
signing.
We've
And why?
said-
It's
Yeah.
just how, you have the 100 million to spend on Sancho, who's a player. He's good. You don't get me wrong, but you don't need him. He's not gonna transform
He's
your
not
team.
going to solve the problem.
Take the 100 million. No one's saying you've got the
Go
money.
buy
Clearly,
Koulibaly and another
Koulibaly.
midfielder.
Literally,
Yeah.
you've got the money there. You're willing to spend it, but in the wrong place. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I sent that thing earlier. They're wanting to sign. They've signed this 18-year-old from, or they're about to sign 18-year-old from Atalanta. This Traore,
Yeah,
who's played 24 minutes. 24 minutes of football.
No
for
money,
30
no
for 30
plans,
million,
just vibes.
and
Just
they don't want
vibes.
to sign. They wouldn't sign Jude Bellingham. It's just like
Yeah.
where I don't know. I don't know.
I thought
And
Sancho.
Ole's not
would-
it. Ole's not it, bro.
Sancho's a quality player and he would improve them. But their improvement doesn't need to be made in anywhere going forward. If you want to play Martial up front and Greenwood off the right, then you play him like that. If you want to rotate him and you want to play Greenwood up front, then you can play Greenwood up front.
Those centre backs.
I thought
Ew.
Sancho might have been a bit off the hedges, but signing Edison, whatever his name is, Cavani, as a what? How old is he? 32. How old is he?
33, and
A
he hasn't
33-year-old,
played
a
17 games
33-year-old
last something.
who one the way first of all the way that Ole sets up his side goes nowhere near the kind of football that Cavani plays
What
for
a
one.
donkey there, bro.
Yeah, and he what is he like? Okay, yeah, no,
I
I'm
think
just done.
as a Man
He-
United fan, there's nothing that you can complain about getting Cavani as a free transfer.
No.
To be honest,
You
especially
sold
with their
Lukaku.
window.
You sold Lukaku, and he scored 38 goals last season, and now you signing Cavani, who hasn't played in what 7 months, and he scored 8 goals last season.
Yeah.
But also for me,
Just
the thing
vibes.
is, obviously they wanted to start Reguilon. They're getting Telles, I think he was their third choice left back, right? They wanted Tagliafico or someone else. They're now opening talks with Ismail Assar, who's like their fourth choice winger. They wanted Dembele, they wanted Sancho. Cavani's been a free agent since the start of the window, and they're signing him on deadline day. And you're telling me it's not a panic buy?
Oh
He's
my
a
word.
good signing. Okay, he's a good signing. Don't get me wrong. He's still decent. He's probably still a decent player, but he's not what you want and he's not what you need. So I don't know why United fans are settling and getting excited like he's gonna fix their team. Unless he plays centre back, maybe that's all his vision. He's gonna go sit next to Maguire at centre back, but he doesn't cut it for me. He just doesn't. I don't know. It's just. I have
Let's
no
move
words.
on
You
because
know,
I can't.
before we move on, I just want to say it's quite funny though, because we're gonna see Man United somewhere like in the top four. I hate to say it, but we're gonna see them there somewhere. Like they always manage to flipping slink their way up there, and it's just annoying.
I don't
But
know.
anyways,
I don't know how they do it.
Top-
we
Honestly.
can
Top 12, the
that's a
bottom
whole
half,
nother chat.
or-
That's a whole nother chat. That's a whole
Top-
nother chat.
Top 12, the bottom half. Or what you say?
Okay, so now
I think United fans are so happy about this next result because it took a lot of heat
Yeah.
off them.
Yeah, it took a lot of
Wow.
flack.
So we have the
They
Aston
are
Villa
so
Liverpool
lucky.
game, which is a 7-2 scoreline there in Aston Villa's favour. 30% possession to Aston Villa, 11 shots on target with 18 shots in the game, compared to Liverpool's 14 shots with 8 on target. I mean, Aston Villa just outshone them in everywhere that they could. They took their chances. Where they saw mistakes, they attacked, and I mean, it was a good performance. Watkins was a good performance from him.
he looked good.
Honestly, I don't have words for this game. Like it still doesn't. I still can't process it.
Look, they did
I
have
think-
a bit of luck with the deflections.
Yeah, but it's the fact that
it's
they were
still
in those
7.
positions.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
even-
all
even-
7 of them weren't deflections though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the only thing that I can say, and Michael and I spoke about this, the Villa squad at the beginning of the season, a lot of guys put Villa to go down or to be there competing to go down. But if you look at that Villa squad now, they really do look like a mid-table side. They really don't look like a. I mean, they've won 3 on the bounce, fair enough. That's not going to
7 in
continue.
the Premier League.
Yeah, but
from
they
last season.
really look. They've managed to hang on to Grealish. They've brought in Ollie Watkins, that new
Barkley.
Traore guy, Barkley, who's I think up there with the top low-key signing of the season, just because he can express
Matty
himself.
Cash at right back.
Matty
They
Cash,
got Mings at centre back, and they bought.
Emi Martinez.
To be honest, I don't know. I think that was a very silly.
Yeah, very
thing
silly,
for-
dude. What I saw from Martinez this weekend, I feel like Arteta
Mate.
is wishing.
But
that he's
Leno
in the
still
squad.
makes saves though, so it's
For
like
me,
it's a tough one.
Leno before Leno got injured, he was our player of the season, like he was, and I'm not taking anything away from Emi because he was outstanding, and I don't think anyone will complain when we say that when they were both fit, we had the 2 best keepers in the league as a pair, like maybe not individually, but as a pair, we definitely had the 2 best keepers in the league, but we needed to. And just for Emi personally, he's been there for 10 years. He's finally had a breakthrough. He showed what he's worth. And Leno was never ever not going to be number 1 in the long term, just because that's just I don't know. It's just he was always going to be. And the thing is, it wasn't like he was bad. And it's not like a De Gea Henderson situation where De Gea's clearly and obviously the worst keeper than Henderson at the moment in terms of form. So Leno was fantastic for us before we got injured. So we had to, I mean, and we needed funds for this party transfer and the transfers that are coming in now. So Martinez, before he had his period, he was worth maybe 500k. Now
Max.
now he's worth
There's
what? We sold him for 20 million.
there's
So
one
I think
one
for
one
Villa
point that
that
I want to
was
yeah go Mark,
unbelievable
sorry.
signing for them. Unbelievable signing for them. For,
yeah,
for
I think just on the Liverpool side, I wanna question Virgil van Dijk this weekend and his performance that we saw on the pitch. I'm not sure if you
just
guys
this
have
weekend
seen. Well,
or
we'll
the whole
get into that.
season.
We'll get into that. But I mean, this weekend has definitely been the worst one that we've seen. I'm not sure if you've seen the clips.
yeah, he got
Of
absolutely
Grealish
slammed.
absolutely opening him up, exposing him. And
Absolutely
I mean,
slammed.
to be honest, those are clips that I saw of him when he was playing for Southampton. I mean, I haven't seen a clip of him like that in a Liverpool
Yeah.
jersey, arguably ever. I don't know. What do we think's happening with Big Verge?
I,
Is
I,
is
I want
is
to
the
know what's
player
happening at
gone?
Liverpool.
I think it's
I mean,
complacency. I
It's
honestly think
yeah.
it's complacency.
it's
Last
and
season
it's been like that
he
since
was
they won the
still
league.
yeah. Last season before they won the league, he was so admirable. He was like this guy is like top quality.
Mm.
He's still top
He
quality. Don't
wasn't
get me
he
wrong,
wasn't at the level he was the
but
season before that, but
but
he was
he was
unbelievable.
he just never looked like he was going to be beaten, and
The
he was so
closest defender
composed.
to challenging for a Ballon d'Or. I mean, how
Yeah,
long had it been
exactly,
since we saw
exactly.
that? I
And Oz
mean,
was speaking about
there's
that.
just
Oz was
such
genuinely
such
speaking
good
about
news
that.
about him all the time. And I mean, as
Yeah,
a rival fan, you could even watch him and like be like, flip, this guy's actually improving. He's a solid defender. It's
yeah,
good to see because I mean, he came from a career that was arguably dying at the time, and when Liverpool got him, they turned him into something great. So I don't
yeah,
know, Verge needs to wake up. I think if Verge can
yeah,
wake up, it could start a charge with the rest of the team.
For sure, but I
yeah.
think that whole defense needs to wake up. We saw
Mm.
the Robertson mistake for Lacazette's goal. Like it's schoolboy. It's generally schoolboy. We saw
Yeah.
Trent. I think he scored. He headed the own goal. I think it was offside or disallowed or something.
Yeah.
He got beaten. They ran him behind him like he wasn't even there
Yes, he was
because
poor defensively last
we
and
know
the whole season.
Trent's been good, but he's an attacking fullback, and I think having Virgil commanding as he is, I think he got away with it, and I think Robertson got away with it as well. I think
Yeah.
Robertson's better defensively than Trent is,
Yeah.
but Trent's been exposed with this weak
Yeah.
back four, and now with no Allison as well, you've got Adrian, who's you can't. Personally, when I thought they got him, I was like, okay, they've got a decent second choice keeper, but
Yo.
Liverpool just can't seem
He
to get
was
it right
nowhere.
with keepers. They signed Allison,
But they
big
can't
money.
blame him. They can't blame Adrian alone
No,
because
at all.
they all were
No,
they
no,
all
no,
were poor.
yeah.
He slipped up in the first goal, but the
Yeah.
rest of it was just poor defending.
Yeah.
But
And I think if you put into context, if Virgil has this like enigma around him, we're like, oh, okay, whatever. He made a couple mistakes. It's done. Like next game, and fair enough because he's built up that reputation for himself. But if Maguire has 5 good games, really solid games, like Virgil van Dijk games, and then he makes that mistake, he is like the laughing stock of the year. You know what I mean? We'd be sitting here calling him slabhead and fridge and all sorts of things.
all the things
So,
he is, yeah.
all the truth. But Van Dijk has an awful game, and everyone's just like, oh, even the commentators are like, oh, he'll bounce back. I like that attitude of him. He looks like,
Yeah.
and for me,
They need to start
I
questioning
used to,
him,
I
holding
genuinely
him
used to
accountable.
respect. Yeah, and I used to like Robertson as a player. I liked that he was gritty and like, and even Van Dijk, I really really liked him. He was quite like humble and like he was like admirable. But Robertson, when I watch him do interviews and stuff now, just really irritates me for some reason. There's something.
They're also arrogant. Like we get it, you won the league, we get it, you won the Champions League. You like
Yeah.
this England's best team, and okay, well you weren't, in my opinion, because you didn't get any records. But you believe you're the England best team in the last 20 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And you can't winning for me still defending a title is harder than winning the league. And you can ask any manager that's done it, they'll tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
And I just think Liverpool have gone into this season. Don't get me wrong, they're a good squad and they're a good team. They've just gone into the season like we're going to win the league.
I still think
They-
if they sort
No, they
themselves
still
out
can.
quickly, they'll still
They
win the
still
league. I
can,
personally
but
think they
it's-
will.
I think, and we saw now with no money, they had Salah scored both their goals, very good player. But with no money and Salah together, their attack looks. It does. It's not.
Very
You can't say
worrying.
it's the same. You
It's
can
it's
say that.
early days for Jota though. Like
You can
you
say
know you
that
got
for
to give
any
him
team.
a bit
Yeah,
of
you can
Yeah,
say it
you
for
have to
any
give him
team.
that
If
opportunity.
Kane and Son were out, we'd also be saying, "Ooh, there's not much going forward there." But I think Firmino's never gonna bring you goals. So they've only got Salah and Mane, and when one of them's out, K Jota, I
Yeah.
think he's a very good
Can't
player for
see
time.
Jota scoring a
But
hat trick, you know what I mean?
it's one dimensional, and I can't. Okay, he scored in the whatever that goal against you guys 3-1, whatever. But you know when Mane's on the pitch, there will be a chance in the 88th minute for Mane or Salah, and chances are they're going to take it. The saying in football is, "Oh, you're always going to get one more chance," and with those two, chances are if they get that chance, they're going to take it.
Well,
Yeah.
I think
And
on that note we
I
can
just
move on
I
to our
just think
next
they
conversation, which is how these big teams coming into the season are slipping up on the very often occasion. I mean, on the screen here I can see Everton throwing a few names out there, getting some nice wins there. Man City choking a few times there. Chelsea's there. Tottenham there. I mean, the only team out of us as supporters that we're not seeing there is Arsenal, which have had the best start out of our teams, I think, in terms of results against teams. So, I don't know, Stu, what do you think? From an
I
Arsenal
think I
fan, are you
think
happy to see this happening? Or what's the
yeah,
story
I'm
there?
happy, but I think the coming weeks will really tell us where Arsenal
Yeah.
are.
Our next three
You know,
fixtures,
Man
well,
City, Man U. I think
Leicester.
that'll really tell us. I mean, everyone's talking about this new Arsenal under Arteta, and I really do believe in Arteta, and I think it's very clear and sort of the attitude. And Jonty keeps mentioning it about the Sheffield United, them pressing at the end of the match. They were probably under Emery, we probably would have conceded there. So I think it's a world of difference compared to what we were, but I think let's go do it against
Yeah.
these
I think
sides coming up.
I think Arsenal fans need to as a whole need to breathe a little bit. I think also I mean we've had West Ham, Fulham, and Sheffield United who all haven't had great starts to the season. I mean West Ham have been okay, but Fulham haven't won a game and Sheffield United haven't won a game yet. So and our only big test we lost against Liverpool, even though it could have been different. I mean I wasn't here last week, but I do think that result could have been different if stuff had gone our way on the day. But anyways, I think the next 3 weeks will be a big test for us. We've always struggled against the top six. Always for as long as I can remember, we struggled against the top six. So it'll be interesting. We're playing, I mean, traditional top six. So now we've got City away, we've got United away, and Leicester. We'll see after these next 3 games how we go. I think it'll be interesting.
I think it's a nice time to be playing
Yeah.
City and
I don't know.
United.
You
I
never
don't
know
It's
with
a nice time to
City.
be playing City, bro.
I was thinking the same
after
thing.
two
Yeah.
job points in a row. That
You
can't
never.
be
The thing is,
I
it's never
suppose,
actually.
yeah. I
ideally,
mean,
it's a good time to play them, like in an ideal world.
There's
But this
never a good
is
time to play City. There's
and
never a good
yeah. I
time to play
mean,
City. If
they
City are
can
on a
turn up and
run,
they can be.
yeah. If City are on a run of good form where they're just playing like they play, then you don't want to catch them. But if they've lost two and they're angry, you also don't want to catch them. So there's never really a good time to catch City, to be honest with you.
Okay,
Unless you're
lads, I want to move on to our next section because I know it's going to take a bit of time, but we've created another tier list here, and I know that was some good fun the last time that we did it here. And I've basically got all the Premier League teams here on my screen, and I have the sections here, which is the top section is more pull than Scotty T. One below that is good business. Average is could have been better, could have been worse. Maybe one or two more signings, just vibes, and then we don't know how their transfers are going to end up later on in the season. So yeah, let's start it off with Burnley. Personally, I don't know much about them. If anyone has a say about them and their transfers.
I mean, they haven't.
they brought in Dale Stevens. That's their only
Yeah,
signing.
and he's probably the most boring footballer in the Premier League, in my opinion. He's just doesn't.
He's a Burnley player. That's
Yeah, he's perfect for Burnley, but they haven't done much other than that.
So
They've
that's
been
a
very.
so we can agree that's an a don't know. We don't know what's going to happen with those signings.
Yeah.
They're just a new additions to the
they-
squad.
yeah.
Even. Yeah, tough to say.
Okay, Crystal Palace.
I think it's
Crystal Palace. Izzy's a good signing for them, I
it's
think.
been that was their main transfer target for the
Batshuayi
window.
back.
What is it? They got Batshuayi back. They kept Zaha. Well, they've kept Zaha for now. I don't think
I think
unless there's a move coming now in the next few hours. I think it's it's a
It
decent.
could have been better,
It's
could have
there.
been worse. I think slap
Yeah,
on
for
in the
sure.
middle. I mean, could have lost a few important players there in their side. I mean, like maybe AU
Yeah,
we could have seen leave and stuff. But I mean, yeah, some good things there.
yeah, I agree.
Everton, I think that's good business
Top,
just because of the
top.
Rodriguez.
Yeah,
Not
I
even
think
Rodriguez,
that's
unbelievable.
mate.
It's
Rodriguez,
that
not
midfield
not him
three.
alone. Yeah, and
That
now they've just
midfield
signed Ben
three.
Godfrey. They've just signed Ben Godfrey for today as a centre back for them.
mm,
Yeah, that they top
They've
business,
done
top
very,
top top
very
top
good,
top
very good.
business. Yeah,
Southampton.
It's
they've been quite quiet, eh?
they got Walker Peters, which I think was
I
a
think
good deal for
definitely
them.
a one or two more. I mean, I think if they get that one or two more, they can find themselves quite securely in the top 10 every single season. I feel like they fight
Yeah,
for
I think
that section
yeah,
in the league will
I'd
be
say
a bit
one or two
easier.
more as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like it's there and thereabouts. It's either one
Mm,
or two more, or it could have been better, could have been worse, kind of thing.
yeah.
Like it's just it was a decent window, but it was nothing special. Like they didn't bring in
Yeah,
anything like
didn't really improve their squad too much, to be honest.
yeah.
Mm. Leeds United. I don't know if that's a top tier. I think maybe a good business. I mean, we saw some good signings there.
Rodrigo,
Rodrigo, yes, Rodrigo.
uh, they
They
haven't
got
done
Diego.
much, to be honest with you. Like
They
they
got
didn't need
Rodrigo.
to.
They got
I think
Diego
coming
Llorente.
into
They
the Premier League, they
oh,
did good business to secure some like secure transfers to their squad coming into the Prem. They needed that change, that step up, and maybe these signings are offering it for them. That's why I would personally put them under good business.
yeah, I think it's they've done decent business. They haven't gone in and done what Fulham and Norwich, I mean, and Villa did. Okay, Villa
Mm.
ended up staying up, but they spent when they spent 100 million. You didn't see what they did with their squad. I think they had a pretty clear plan about what they wanted to do. So yeah, I think it was pretty good business. I mean, they got some
Yeah.
decent players who Leeds would never
Right.
have got if they'd stayed competitive. So yeah,
Okay, moving on to Manchester City. She's to be honest, I think I could put them in a don't know. I mean Nathan Ake is a good signing, but I mean after his last performance that we saw, it's a don't know. Ferran Torres, I didn't see much of his game this last weekend. He's definitely good
No,
for
he's a
them,
quality footballer. Yeah,
but I'm not
it's
seeing
on
that Man City
paper.
Ruben
player.
Diaz.
I'm not seeing that Man
On
City
paper.
player come out of him. I'm
No,
not
I
seeing that
get you.
ruthlessness. Yeah.
Get you.
On paper, it seems a pretty good window, but
Yeah, Ruben Diaz
I
again.
still don't know about it. It's like on paper it should be very good, but it's I don't know. I just never know with City. Like
Yeah,
Ake is a decent signing. Ruben Diaz potentially could be quality, but he's
The
still
fix to that
raw as
defensive
well.
line.
So
I mean,
it could
we're
go.
also going to consider some of the players that they've lost, though. Like, I
Yeah,
think
Yeah, I was
Leroy
just saying
Sané,
that
Sané,
there's
Silva.
Sané and yeah, I think that
Silva.
Silva one's
Yeah.
big. I mean, they've got Foden coming through, but Silva,
Mm.
you can't argue how quality he was
yeah.
in that final season still. You can't say one or two more because they spent 60 million here and 30 million there, and like they spent over 100 million comfortably. So
Mm.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say they needed one. I can't. You can't really pinpoint a position where you can say one or two more. Maybe a striker, but only because they've got two injuries. So I mean, you can't
I think
really
don't
blame
know
for that.
exactly what's gonna happen. Hits the nail on the head for them.
yeah. Also,
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, Tottenham Hotspur. I think that's a top tier. You guys have had an amazing window, in my opinion. I mean,
yeah. I think
Højbjerg,
I think
Regulion, however you say
it's
his
been
name.
very low key, very
Mm.
low key.
but
They haven't had any
Bale,
like whoa,
Gareth
like
Bale,
okay,
mate.
Bale. Okay, I forgot about him.
Bale is what's tipping it to Scotty T
Forgot
and
about.
Højbjerg's
Yeah, I
performances
know.
that I'm seeing now. I
Yeah,
think
He's
that's
put
yeah.
it
tipped
up
it to
there. I
him.
Bale, we
completely
forgot
forgot
about him.
about him.
No, it's a great window
I'm
for you
thinking of
guys.
Vinicius. I'm thinking of Højbjerg, and I'm thinking of Doherty, and I'm like,
Yeah,
Bale's
Doherty as
sitting on the
well.
couch.
She's
Bale
yeah, no,
still
I
put
forgot
his
about him.
feet up.
I forgot about him.
definitely
Apologies,
top tier.
apologies.
No worries.
Uh, okay, West Brom. Don't know much about them, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't
No.
know.
Yeah,
I
don't
mean,
know
they
They,
brought in
too.
Abramovich from remember your Chelsea player, your Chelsea
Oh
legend.
yes, but I think he's just there to count out his last few days of footy.
yeah,
Get some game
it
time
was.
every now and then.
They brought in a few players, but it was nothing like okay, they
Yeah,
good. This is
for
gonna
sure.
help them stay in the
Stay,
Prem. You know, they
yeah.
got
Mm.
yeah.
Okay, moving on to West Ham.
Oh, I think it's been
Minimal.
Yeah,
definitely
they've
one or
done.
two.
And
They've
One or
done
two more to push them
nothing.
over, I think. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think if
and
they
then,
if
They
they
could, I
if they
think,
can secure those one or two more transfers, we could see more regular results as the one that we saw this weekend against Leicester. Just
yeah,
that eliminates that extra chance of slipping up every now and then. With a better player, add some
yeah,
yeah, we
stability,
saw.
maybe at the
I think
back.
yeah, it wasn't a great winner because also obviously with that whole Diangana thing, that
Yeah,
was a bit of an issue there. So yeah, I don't know. It was a pretty nothing window for them.
yeah. Okay, Wolves. I think they did pretty good business considering that they signed the whole Portuguese team.
Nelson Semedo's a good signing for them. That's a quality
Yeah,
signing that's gone
I,
under
that's
the
that's what's
radar. No one
pushing me
really
I
onto
spoke
think
good
about.
business.
I
And
think well,
they've
I
done
don't
well
know.
to
That's
keep Jimenez, I think, because he
yeah, I think
was
that was big.
Mm.
And Cody, they tied Cody's also quality. I think for them,
yeah,
big.
yeah.
I just
And
I
Markel's
think
not a bad left back.
I
He's
think I, that Semedo signing is still a bit worrying. Like he's obviously quality, and I think he just when he signed for Barca, I think he almost got thrown in the deep end a bit. I don't think he was ready for that such a big move, and he got absolutely shredded in the Champions League final by Alphonso Davies. And I think he needed the move for his career because I didn't see anything happening, him pushing on again at Barca, and
Yeah.
it worries me a bit that he's so attacking minded that he's gonna get them out. He's gonna he's not gonna be as defensively effective as they need him to be. But I think only time will tell. And on paper, it's a very good signing. And I think that Andre Silva guy as well, youngster, brought him in. It's a lot of money to pay for a 19-year-old,
yeah.
but obviously there's a player there. So I think
I
yeah,
don't
I
think it's
think
too bad. I don't think it
it's
was
not
too
it's
bad.
not terrible, but yeah, I don't think it's not top tier, but it's
I
Yeah,
think it's
decent.
a good business window. I think for them.
yeah.
Okay, moving on to Arsenal. To be honest, I think it's a good business. I think if you had secured Party and Aura, that would push it up to more pull for me. I think
What he's
if you
done,
secure
Wade. He's
if you
done.
secure one of those two,
He's done. He's finished. He's in London. I'm just
who's
reading
that?
tweets now. Party.
Party. So do you think that
Yeah.
it's going to be 100% confirmed? You guys think you're going to pull through on
Yeah.
that
I'd
that
say 90.
transfer?
I'd say 99%.
Stu, I don't know. Have you seen
Yeah.
any news on your side? You think it's needed, eh?
Uh, I think it's quite a solid one. I mean, Willian, I think that's quite a score.
Mm.
I think we can't forget that we had to secure Ceballos again.
And Alba.
Yeah. So I think it's solid. Nothing
I think it's been
special.
a bigger window than just bringing players in as well. Like I mean, I think we've sent some guys out on loan,
Yeah,
that
definitely.
weren't getting much game time, and we brought in Gabriel, who we needed,
That's what I was
as a
thinking.
centre back, and then Willian's a good, very very good squad player. I think he's going to be good for us this season, and then obviously securing Ceballos and Aubameyang, for another season for Ceballos, and then Aubameyang for another 3. And then obviously now bringing in Party as well. I think it's been a good window for us personally. I think if we had got one more, it would have been our best window in years.
Yeah.
But I think that Party, I would have said if Party hadn't signed today, I would have said that our window was average
Very
because,
average
Yeah,
because
but I
I would
think
say I would have put
yeah,
it under good business if you didn't sign Party. So,
yeah, I
I'm
agree.
sure you guys are crossing fingers, hoping that Party deal's confirmed by the end of the day.
Yeah,
So
I think
we'll
it's pretty
keep it in.
confirmed. I'm watching
Yeah,
this.
I'm also sure it'll be confirmed because it's been rumored for quite a while now. So I think you guys can
Yeah,
have some good
and
hopes
today we
about
just
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Brighton. I mean, I don't know much besides Lallana. Maybe one or two, and Lamptey. Maybe one or two more, or I don't know. How do we feel
yeah,
about Brighton's
Ben
window?
White's a good.
but yeah, they kept Ben White, which I think was big for them. I think he's a quality player.
Mm.
They let Duffy go to
Mm.
Celtic, which was obviously to make way for White. I think yeah, there've been one or two low-key signings they made as well, but it's nothing. I don't know.
I
I
think they
think
can join
I think they've
Palace,
got a
and it could have
decent.
been better, could have been worse type
Yeah,
of
that's what
window.
I think.
Yeah.
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 Definitely could have gone
Mm.
worse for them if
Mm.
they hadn't secured some of those transfers.
Okay. Obviously next Chelsea. I don't think there's any question about this one. I'm putting it right on the top bar. Um, yeah, solid window. Splashed a bit of cash there, coming back from our transfer ban. Chelsea fans are happy. Obviously, we're still waiting for the boy to do something. Timo. I mean, like cough cough. Something needs to happen soon. I'm sure we will see it soon
I
though.
think I personally, if he hadn't signed Mendy, I wouldn't have put his top tier business. in all honesty.
Yeah, because we needed a goalie, a
That
I
goalkeeper.
keeper
agree.
was so
That was
important.
but
Yeah.
going
But
into this transfer window, I was reading speculations about Werner and stuff like that, and I was like, why am I not reading anything about a goalkeeper? Why am I not seeing
Yeah.
this hype about a goalkeeper? I mean, the biggest problem in our team was Kepa, and I mean, now since we've got Mendy, and yeah, sure, his first game was against Tottenham, throwing him in a penalty shootout is always a bit shaky. But I mean, this last game to keep a clean sheet, which we've been struggling with, as Stu said in the beginning of the episode. I mean, it's good to see, and definitely, yeah, I just hope that he's not won't follow down Kepa's tracks, because
yeah, I think
we need
for
him
that
to save
it
us.
can go top tier because you got to keep it another
Yeah.
key on it. And also needs
Fab-
another
Yeah.
keeper, another keeper.
Fabrizio, sorry, I just want to interrupt there. Fabrizio just tweeted 2 minutes ago that Partey's in London. He's going to have medicals and sign until 2025 for Arsenal.
Yeah, that's good news. I think that's definitely up
Yeah.
to top tier then.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, so I think, I think purely because you got the keeper, it can go to top tier.
Yeah, I agree.
Still untested though. I think we need to see how he goes. But obviously having him there, it has to be.
But I also think that these other transfers for us were important, as our squad's still young. Like, we still have those academy players, and I mean, like, they're not gonna. We can't as we can see from what we've been seeing from Mount week in and week out. We can't expect them to perform every weekend like the top tier players that we've brought in, such as like Havertz and Ziyech and stuff. I mean, I think
Yeah.
those are the players that are gonna keep us in the top four and challenge for the title. Our younger players aren't at that level yet. In my opinion, and especially with the season, yeah, you can say that we were lucky because of the points. When we get to a season where the points aren't as low as last season, we might not be as lucky. And I think that these players that we've bought in this window is definitely what we need to stay in that top four and challenge
Yeah,
the
I agree.
title.
Yeah,
Agree.
Yeah.
I think it was obviously all good players. So you can't knock it.
Okay, Sheffield United. They took Ethan Ampadu from Chelsea. I'm not sure about anybody else that signed for them.
They got I think they've done decent business. They got Ollie Burke. They signed Brewster. They got
Yeah.
Ampadu, they got Ramsdale. Like it's all good signings, but
that price tag
I
on Brewster
still-
is very
I
questionable.
still that team. I still don't know.
It doesn't improve them much.
It's like they signed Ramsdale, which they had to do after losing Henderson.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that was a very big signing for them. Ampadu for his game time, it's good, but I don't
Yeah.
see their defense is already so solid. Like it was so solid. I don't see where he fits in improvement wise. Obviously, they've had a few injuries, so he got his game time. And I think already Brewster's obviously he's young, he's an exciting talent, but they've got like 6 strikers who are all of like that average level. If you get
Especially with that price tag.
they've
I mean,
got
what
Crusade,
did they
they've
pay?
got Goldrick,
23
they've got
mil.
McBurney, they've got Sharp,
Yeah.
they've got Burke. They're all similar level, and I don't see
They're all Sheffield United is.
where Brewster fits as a better signing, and I don't see where 23 million comes. Obviously, he had a decent half season with Swansea,
Swansea, yeah.
but I
Do we
just
put them in a don't know section?
Yeah.
Very, very
I think-
skeptical.
I
of
think-
what
I
could
mean,
happen
none of
there.
them take them to that next level. It's sort of like keeps them there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially from where they
it could-
finished last season. They
Yeah,
can't-
it could turn out to be a very good window if they all perform. But it could, as you've seen now, it hasn't kicked on yet and they've lost 4 in a row or whatever. So
Yeah.
I think I don't know yet. I think we have to leave it there because we haven't seen much of what it's done for them.
Aston Villa. I think it's either good
Top
business or
tier,
Yeah,
good
top.
business.
honestly, I
Top.
think
Top.
if you
They've
look at
signed-
look at
they've signed
what
Ross
they've done.
Barkley.
I think
They
this
signed Ross
Barkley
Barkley.
signing is pushing it up top
Barkley,
for me,
England
to be
international.
honest.
Emi Martinez couldn't get much better as a
Argentinian
keeper.
international.
I forgot about
Ollie
Martinez
Watkins.
as well.
Ollie Watkins was player of the season in the championship last season. Matty Cash was.
They signed Grealish on a new contract. for
Yeah,
the next
that's
5
top.
years.
Yeah,
They've-
that's.
they've
I mean,
Yeah.
he's still, in my opinion, should be hot property and everyone should be wanting. But
Exactly.
he signed the contract, keeping him there. And
I just
think
can't believe Man
from
United
what
let
they've
that
seen-
rumor slide past. They should have pursued Grealish more.
Yeah, if you're willing,
mean,
if you're willing
yo.
to spend 100 million on Jadon Sancho,
Sancho.
who, don't get me wrong, is a quality player, but doesn't improve you as much as I think Grealish
Yeah.
would. Because he's exactly. I mean, mind you, he does a similar job to. I mean, he plays on the left, so. But I don't know. He plays as a camo on the left, and they don't really need him on there either, to be honest.
I don't think any club would complain if they signed
Yeah,
Grealish.
no,
So I
definitely.
think for Aston Villa to obviously he's like a, a cult hero and he's the boyhood club and stuff, but I still think it shows massive ambition from them
Yeah,
to tie him down. And
I agree.
obviously then getting Barkley, and I think that those two together, because obviously we saw how like happy they like obviously mates, and obviously
Yeah.
Grealish was messaging Barkley before he went. So I think those two being happy and playing together,
Yeah, and Ollie Watkins and Emmy, they've had a top window, top top top
Yeah,
window.
tops.
it like they were on the brink of going down, and I think this window is just. They obviously they could still fight it, but this window's pushed them. If you look at that squad, it's definitely a lot better than some of the other teams in the Premier League.
Okay, we've still got 5 clubs to go through here, so I just want to see if we can shoot through maybe Fulham and Newcastle quickly on their
Fulham
signings.
bottom tier.
Don't
Fulham,
know.
but
We don't really
Madison.
know.
We don't
I
really
think
know what's
they've made
happening there.
a lot of signings, but they need.
Yeah.
Obvious that they need a centre back. I think Ariola was a quality to get a.
Yeah,
keeper of his
Areola,
stature.
Tete, they had
They've signed a
Tete.
lot of players. I just don't know because they needed centre backs, and you even saw with their director of football going out tweeting, "Oh, I'm so sorry, we didn't get the centre back that we wanted." Yeah, I think we don't know. I think they made some decent signings. They got Lookman. They've made some decent signings, but it's just we don't know. Yeah, I agree.
And is Newcastle joining them in this bracket?
I think Newcastle
I think
had some
Newcastle
good.
have had a top window. I think they've had a really good window.
One below top tier. I think they've
Good
Yeah,
business.
good business.
Callum Wilson
Callum
and
Wilson,
Fraser,
Jeff Hendrick, Fraser.
Jamal
Um,
Lewis. They got exactly what
yeah,
they need.
yeah,
And I mean, if you look at, I think the only player that scored more goals for Newcastle in the last 2 seasons is Shelby than Callum Wilson. So they were crying out for a goal scorer, and I think they've got a very good one in Wilson.
Yeah.
So I think that was one thing they had to address, which they did. So
Okay, and moving on to Leicester.
I think they must have done good business in my opinion.
Good business.
I think Castagne, I don't know what they've done much other than Castagne, to be fair. I think Madison signed a new contract, which is quality
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
that Castagne
definitely good
really
business for them.
signing.
yeah. I don't think they've had
Only 3 players in, eh?
Yeah, I don't think they've been brilliant. I mean,
Yeah,
Castagna, they just
I would actually
got
put
through
Leicester
it.
as a could have been better, could have been worse sort of thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
Because I mean
yeah.
they did lose Chilwell as well to us. And I mean they didn't replace him, so I think that's what puts them below good business for me.
Yeah.
Okay, Man United, we have one special bracket for them, just vibes. That is
Just
the perfect
Just
way
vibes.
to explain them, just vibes.
Yeah.
We heard
And even
all
Donny,
these
like you feel bad
rumours.
for the guy because Donny's meant to be a big signing for them, but oh, I think they spent money in the wrong
they're
place.
Sitting the bench.
about to panic. And then
Yeah.
with Cavani.
Yeah. So Tellez says I won many trophies at Porto and want to continue that at United, mate.
like he's obviously an upgrade of Shaw. I think Shaw still he's decent. I mean, he
Just
had
doesn't
so
cut
much
it
hype.
as a Premier
He
League
just
defender.
he hasn't gone on from the hype he had as a lighty. So I think
Yeah.
obviously it's a position they did need to address, and I think 15 million they can't really complain. But a lot of he's okay. I'm not good signing United. Well done. But a lot of his stuff is stat padded. I mean, he takes corners. I think he took penalties. So a lot of his stats, although they look amazing, he's not going to be on corners
Yeah.
and he's not going to be on penalties. So I think obviously all these attacking returns he's been getting, he's still a much better left back than Shaw. But I don't see him
Yeah.
fixing the problem. But obviously it's the signing they needed, so good signing. But I don't think he's the player they might be expecting. I don't know.
No plans, no money, just vibes. That is exactly it. Okay, and then we move on to the champions, Liverpool. Is it a good business or a more pull? I don't know. I'm debating.
I think they've done
between
well.
the
That
two.
Thiago,
Thiago, and
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think-
it looks like Diego's doing well for them at the moment, so I think we could put them top tier for that.
I think
Yeah,
Jota
I
was a
think
bit
it's
overpriced.
good. I think it's
Yeah,
good
I agree.
business. I don't.
I agree. Stu.
I think it's.
But it's for to be honest, did Liverpool really need that many transfers to come in?
I think they do.
That's why.
They need a centre back for sure.
I think they do. I think if you look at
They
that
need a
side,
partner. They need a partner for Van Dijk and they need a backup goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've seen,
So they're looking at Gata, your
So what's our
Gata
yeah,
final
guy.
verdict
I
then?
think he's going
Was it
to
a good business or was it a top tier?
good business. I think. I
I
think
think
they
it's
could have
good
done.
business. Yeah.
Maybe if
It's
Jota
very
Yeah,
good
was a
business.
good
bit, I
business.
think as Stu said, maybe if Jota's price tag was a bit lower, we could have put it into
I
a top
think.
tier.
I think it was almost impossible really to get to top tier. I mean, the top tier there it's more pull than Scotty T or whatever. And I think for them, with the pull they had, they could have gone out and honestly, if they had the money, they could have gone out and got Mbappe if they wanted to. With the level they're playing at the moment, they won the Champions League, Premier League 2 seasons in a row. If they had the money, that they could have tempted him to come. Um,
Yeah.
so I think it's good business. I mean, they've got two. They also brought in Simicas as a left back replacement, which they needed, which is also
Yeah.
good business. I think 12 million or something, which is a decent price for them as well. So I think it's good business, but I don't think it screams wow.
Okay, so that concludes our tier list for the transfers in the Premier League this window. We see the top tier holding Everton, Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Villa. Good windows for the London teams. I think we're all happy about
Bit
our
of bias in
transfers.
there, what you're saying.
Yeah, I
Uh,
reckon we might have a
um,
bit of bias.
we can get the answer to that question. We're gonna make it available for everyone to do. We'll put the links out on all our social medias. So definitely give it a go and send it on to us. And tell us what you think about your club's transfers. Um, and then I just want to move on to our fantasy. You can see the code there on your screen. I think we've
Jeez,
been speaking on the group saying that we want to try aim for 100 people and we can make some prizes available and then maybe a raffle prize for one random person in the league, just so if you're not racking in those points on the weekend, you still have an opportunity to go away with
yeah, I
something.
agree.
Um, we still see Marky's girlfriend leading the charge there up top. Another
Just mate,
amazing goal week
Spurs.
for her. 105 points. Let's have a look at her team. It's almost like she's gone forward in time, Mark. You need to see, like, I don't know.
I
Have you
don't know. I
spoken
don't
to
know
her
what's
about
happening here.
her choices? Should we get her on, get her to explain her ways?
Yeah, I
I
think
think we
I
have
think
to.
if man needs to. She sends me a message. She had like I think she had Brewster there, the cheap option, and she still had like 2 million in the bank. She goes, yeah, this week I'm gonna go. I'm bringing Wilson in for Brewster. I was like, oh wait, chill vibes. Then
Yeah.
Wilson goes and scores, gets 16 points, and I'm like, nah. What's
I
going
mean,
on
Yeah,
here, bro?
it's almost
And
like a week in
she
and
even
week
had
out, she's got
minus
exactly who
points.
you need. Yeah, exactly. I mean, she's and to still
yeah.
to have minus points and finish on 105 top performance, nothing you can complain about there.
That's two. That's not many fantasy managers can say that they've had 2 weeks of
Bro, I don't even know if
Exactly, of
I've got
100
2 weeks
100
plus
of
points
100,
points.
eh?
in the
Yeah,
I
same
think I
season
maybe,
in the first
I
four
think,
weeks.
I think I maybe got 100 points like twice in my whole entire
She must.
yeah,
fantasy
She
life.
honestly must be close to the top 20K.
She's top 10 in
yeah.
South Africa.
Oh my goodness.
No.
I
Oh
think.
my
I think. I
goodness.
think. I
Madness.
think. I think we gotta.
I think
Jason,
Michael.
we got some work to do. We need to speak to
Yeah,
the.
yeah, Johns. We need to pull our ladies
Bro,
aside and
she's
have a
like
quick
And
word
pull
there on
out.
their
Pull out.
squads.
she's like
Yeah.
I think 500 or top 600 in the world and top 10 in South Africa.
Oh
But
my
I'm
goodness,
like,
that's
nah, nah,
ridiculous.
nah,
Gotta
nah.
call her the
Yeah.
fantasy whisperer.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. Anyways, good banter on there. So there's the code on the screen if you want to quickly join it now. I think we've gone over 85 people we have at the moment, which is absolutely ridiculous. For us. So yeah,
Yeah.
let's try get it to 100 there, and then we can make some prizes available. So yeah, just before we finish off, is there any questions, any other chat that we want to get onto? I know that there was someone interested in a bit of Newcastle chats. I'm not sure if there's any specific questions that they want to ask. Anything
You
from
should.
our side?
No, I think just a shout out to him for being a stuck-up Newcastle fan. No, and he's been a Newcastle fan for long. You don't see those guys often, so I think we should give him a shout out for
Yeah.
being loyal to his side.
And for apologizing for the penalty he got against me. I was really mad.
Oh yeah,
I think we should
Yeah.
also give a shout out to the Man United and Liverpool fans for also being so loyal to their teams.
yeah.
Because
We
to be
appreciate
honest,
you guys.
after a weekend like that, I don't think I would be coming back for more. He just wants to know our thoughts on the game. So let me shoot back to the score there. It was 3-1 to Newcastle against Burnley. I think that's a solid result for a Newcastle fan. I mean, Burnley is easy points for you guys.
Yeah,
We spoke on Wilson now with the fantasy teams. Bang of a performance from him.
yeah.
Lovely
I
stuff
think
as a
we looked
Newcastle
at
fan.
we looked at. I mean, I chatted to the guy who's there. I assume it's Ishan.
Yeah.
I chatted with him on yesterday afternoon, and we were just chatting about how they how Newcastle look to be heading in the right direction, and how their signings have been in all the right places. And if St. Maximin can, I mean, his performance was crazy. I thought St. Maximin was so good for them.
Well, we have him
And he
saying here
can do
that
that
he hasn't seen
consistently.
Newcastle play like this in years, which I think is a fair
Yeah,
statement to make. I mean,
yeah,
Newcastle's been a fairly solid team in the Premier League for how many years now? We're seeing them in the league. It's good to see. Maybe in the next few seasons we can see them step up a game. Maybe
I,
challenge for that
I
top
think
six. See them make
I
an
think
appearance in
Steve
Europe.
Bruce as well has done a quality job there. I think coming in after Rafa Benitez, it like all left a bit weirdly, like, and then Bruce was there, and I think a lot of fans he took a bit of slack at the beginning, and I think he's done a quality job there. I think he's got his all the players are kind of bought into it, and I think we saw like obviously like St. Maximin's a quality player, and he looks happy. Obviously Wilson and Fraser, they're like mates, and they got them in together to keep them happy as well. Which is they've done good business, and I think they built quite a decent squad, and I think they obviously Dubravka's still out, and he's a top keeper, but I think I can't remember the other keeper's name now. He did quality so good against us. I pulled off like 11 saves and stuff. So I think as a squad, they've got a much better squad than they've had in the past, which I think is good to see for them as well.
yeah, yeah. I agree.
He says that hopefully they can get a different manager with a bit more pull, even though Bruce has done well with the scrap we've had, aka Jolington. Um,
I think he started to look a bit better. I wouldn't say he's great. Um, but
Yeah,
I do think a couple of another good season with Bruce, and I think maybe they could get
producing
a
results like this on the daily
they,
basis, well, on the weekly
they could
basis, week in and week out, you can definitely see
they
a
could
manager looking
yeah,
at
yeah
Newcastle
a bigger manager going there.
with big
So
goals. Yeah,
yeah. No, I
yeah.
agree. I think Newcastle itself has quite a big pull. They've obviously got a really big history, and they've been a big club in England in their past, and we've seen a little bit of a sad time for them. But I think the club itself still has so much pull. I think as a what we refer to as a mid-table club at the moment, um, they still have a lot of pull, just because the club itself is so big and so traditional. And so I think Steve Bruce for another couple of years is good for them, unless obviously it goes south. But yeah, I think
I don't think it will be. I think we'll see a better Newcastle coming out in next
yeah,
few
I agree.
weeks. Okay, then on that note, I don't think there's anything else. Any more questions? But
just one thing
otherwise,
to add, we got a DM from a Liverpool fan, and he said before the episode, he was like, "Boys, I approve all the Liverpool slander coming. No joke. Straight up
Mikey
ass."
just had to clear his name before he was attacked again.
Sincerely a Liverpool fan. So yeah, can't have been too happy about their performance.
Okay,
Uh,
a longer episode this week. Thank you all for sticking by. I see the numbers have
yeah,
been
appreciate
jumping up and down. It's been a good episode, some good chat, some crucial points that we've had to address. Looked at the transfers, looked at the fantasy again. So yeah, get in that fantasy, get some prizes going, and yeah, we'll see you all next week. So thanks
Yeah.
again.